Good morning. We are moving stuff around. It is Friday.
Friday the something.
The
23rd
of September at 9 a.m. Central Time if you are watching us live. If not, we don't know what time it is or what day it is. If you're new to our channel, my name is Cindy. This is my husband, Matt. We are full-time resellers. Like, comment, subscribe. All those things. Anyhow. Matt is going to be only partially paying attention to us today as he has the U.S. men's soccer game going on over there that he is watching them lose currently.
It's a friendly, so.
It's okay.
They don't look great.
So it's okay. It's okay. So this week has been...
What has this been?
Absolutely nuts. This week has been absolutely nuts.
Crazy?
Yes. I feel like my eyes look tired too. Every day this week, I've been like, okay, this is what we're going to do today. This is the plan for today. And then something has happened and the plan has gotten thrown out the window. And yeah, it's been an entire week of bob and weave.
Well, we started out our Monday. And you had oversold something.
I had oversold an item on Amazon, which doesn't happen often.
No.
And it was totally my fault. I messed up the inventory, and yeah, so that was incredibly frustrating to me because then I had to spend 5 hours
searching
to go and replace that item. So that was a great way to start the week, which we got it replaced and it was fine in the end, but it was super duper frustrating.
Yeah, and it wasn't anything we planned on doing that day.
No.
Our plans were, we're going to do this and this and this, and all of a sudden, no, we're not doing any of this. We're doing this instead.
Yes. Yes. So.
But it gave you the opportunity to source other things while you're out, and it wasn't a lost cause or anything. But
no, but that happens probably once or twice a year that the systems we have in place don't always work when you have user error. And so, just is what it is. So that was how we started the week. That was how we started the week. And then Amazon has been ramping up. And so there's been a lot more sourcing, a lot more shipping, a lot more.
But that's a good thing.
Oh, it's a fantastic thing. It's just added to the craziness. So we've had a lot more of that going on, trying to get this book finished, which has been
the book
a labor of love at this point because...
Is it a labor of love?
Yes.
Or a labor of determination at this point?
It's determination at this point. Because, and I knew that this was going to happen, and this is why I set the October 1st deadline, because as Amazon ramps up, as other things start to get busier, I have less time. See, I'm watching the game.
Sorry.
They didn't score yet. It's okay. So I knew that was going to happen. But I have the interior for the workbook is now done. The book itself is written and edited. So all I have to do now is tie up some loose ends. It's the copyright page. It's the table of contents. It's those kinds of things have to be added in, and then we can format, make the covers, and get it out. So super excited about it. I think it's really good. I hope it's really good. I mean, it better be good after all this time and effort I've put into it. But yeah, I think it's really good. I've gotten really great feedback on it. So been working on that a lot. While doing all of that, building social media, which is our topic of the day. See how I worked my way all the way around to that?
I see what you did there.
Did you see what I did there? It was pretty impressive, wasn't it? So working social media, because we are also building a brand, and in order to build a brand in 2022, you really need social media behind it. Which I put up a reel on my regular Instagram is amazing taste store that I've had forever, that I have, an okay amount of followers on. I put up a reel this week that lost me followers.
You didn't tell me this.
I told you about the reel.
Uh-huh.
That reels don't get you followers. And
do you still stand by that? But they
do.
obviously lose you followers.
Yeah, if you call them out for not being great. Reels are fantastic if, one, you just enjoy making them. Two, you can take that content and put it like on TikTok, where they do really well and they do then create engagement and create followers. And three, if they're paying you to make them. All fantastic reasons. But if the reason, especially within the reseller community, is to increase your followers, increase your engagement, all of that, reels just aren't working. And in the process of building the second Instagram account for the Gen X Humor, which is then pushing our print-on-demand products, I have seen that the algorithm, so when you go on Instagram and you go to your regular page, right? Mm-hmm. The way that new people can find your content is you show up on their page even though they aren't following you. The way that is happening is through static posts. Static posts, meaning not a video that has hashtags connected with it. Those are the ones that are showing up in regular people's, just in your feed.
Because they're following that hashtag.
Because they're following that hashtag.
Okay.
The real hashtags you're only going to see those if you have interacted with similar content. And even then, like when I go on my Reels page, I see very, very little reseller related content and no Gen X humor content. Even though that's what I'm putting out, clearly that's what I'm interested in. Those are the hashtags that I'm following. So getting in front of those new followers that will then follow you, because that's the key. Like, you have to get them to actually engage with you. Assumably you want people to engage with you. If you don't, then you could just buy followers if you just want the follower count. But if you actually want people that are going to engage with you, the reels will get sent out to people who don't follow you, but it's not converting. They're not then the conversion rate to follower. So
they're watching the reel, but they're not necessarily
then going to your page and following you and all of that. This hair is driving me nuts today. So what I have found is that if you are putting up static posts, so just a regular Instagram picture with the hashtags in conjunction with interacting with other people's static posts, and because if you go and you interact with a reel, people will interact with that reel. They don't follow you, but they will interact with it.
Interact meaning they'll like it.
They'll like it.
Comment on it.
Sometimes they comment. But when somebody puts up a static post now, they're getting very little engagement.
Okay.
So if I go in, if you go in and you comment on my static post, I'm going to see that. Mm-hmm. That's going to increase my level of interest in your account because you have interacted on a static post where nobody else has. So the chances then of you being able to engage with me, start a conversation, all of those things is far greater than through a reel. Does that make sense? You don't know. You don't even do social media. So what I have found is also that people who are newer to Instagram or they have smaller accounts, they aren't creating reels. They may not even know they have the option to create reels.
Can anyone create reels?
I think
or do you have to have X amount of
No, I'm pretty sure that anybody can.
I don't know.
But those people are looking for engagement. They want you to engage with their stuff. They've come on and they've posted something and they want engagement on their post. Everybody does. That's the name of the game. That's what we're all doing here. So if I go onto their accounts and I engage with them, they're far more grateful for that, and then more likely than to follow me and then engage with me, and you create that dynamic where you're engaging together, you're sharing each other's content, all of that. And that's what you're looking for. Whereas if I go to a reel, people that are creating reels are seasoned. They just want you to engage, they just want you to follow their account. There's not as much back and forth going on as the people who are still posting static posts. So because when we started the Gen X Humor, which I started, excuse me, I have to cough. Excuse me while I die. Golly.
You okay?
Yeah, man. Hello, fall. I started the Gen X Humor account exactly 1 month ago today.
It's only been 1 month.
It's been 1 month ago today.
Mm-hmm.
And when I started it, my goal was to see, and I based the goal, before I say it, I based the goal off of what other new accounts were doing, what other Gen X accounts were doing, how many followers they were getting, how much engagement that they were getting, that sort of thing. So my goal was to try and hit 100 followers within a month. If I could hit 100 followers without putting it on my main account, so just 100 followers organically within a month, then I would deem that a worthwhile cause. We hit the 100 followers in under a week.
Yeah, in like 4 days or something like that. 4 or 5 days.
So then I did share it on my Amazing Taste Store site, which some of those people are also Gen Xers, and so they did follow, but not.
But you didn't share it until after you hit that 100 follower goal, so you wouldn't get tainted results.
Yes, exactly. So some of those, but not a large amount of followers from the Amazing Taste Store account, because it doesn't apply to everybody.
Right.
It's not reseller related. So as of, I could tell you, as of right now, 1 month in, I'm at 497 followers. So the growth then has been about 125 followers every week consistently.
But you've been very active.
Yes, consistency. Does Instagram engagement help with sales though? Yes, and we will get. So what I have done.
Good question.
That's where we're going next. Why do all of this? Because at the end of the day, I want to make money. So what I have found is that if your Instagram account started off as you just sharing reseller content, you sharing your kids, sharing your dog, whatever, and then you try to switch to selling people things, you just lose followers and people aren't here for it. If the Gen X Humor site, I started within a few days posting like, here's a link to a product that relates to,
Gen X Humor.
And I'm doing that every single day. So that when people follow then that account, they know this is going to be an account that's going to show you products that you might be interested in, that you can buy. So there's no bait and switch there. Yes, a brand converts better. Absolutely. So what I have done though is I'm using affiliate links, which is okay. That is not allowed.
It's not allowed.
It's not allowed.
So it is allowed.
It is allowed.
Or not allowed.
Either way, it's Friday and I'm tired. It's been a long week. So I can see then which link gets more clicks and then which one converts to sales. And what's interesting is not only has it converted to sales for the items that I have posted, but it has converted to sales to other items that we have for sale. So I sent you to look at this shirt, but you bought that one. That is my design under the same brand anyway. So it is absolutely, hey, Casa Chic, I can read your name. If you watched us last week at the very end, I can't read everyone's names because I get in trouble when I do, but I know you. So glad I got you left. So yeah, if you set up the account with the intent with just very clear, like, this is a business that's going to sell you products. People are fine with that. It's when the bait and switch happens that people are like, I followed you for this and now you're over here. I don't love that. It is harder to get followers as a business than as a person. Where do you add the affiliate link on an IG post? So what I do is I post the static post and then I share that to my stories, which seems to help the algorithm the most. And in that story, then I can put the link. Now, eventually, we do have the genxhumor.com site. We will be then posting all of that stuff onto there so that I can just have the link tree and then you could go back and see like last week's shirt that I offered or whatever. It's just not there yet. I've had a few other things going on.
Really?
Yeah, just a couple. So that's where I'm putting the affiliate link, which to your point is not going to get as many clicks or likes than if I had it in a link tree. If I could say in my static post, check out my link tree for the link, that sort of thing. So I do think I will get more once I get that work done. I'm just haven't had time to do it yet. But every day, 3 times a day, I am going in, I am engaging with people that might be interested in our brand and our product. I'm commenting on their posts. I'm liking their posts. I'm following them first.
You're being engaging.
I'm being engaging. You know, it's like kind of like a first date. You gotta say, hey, I kind of like you. And then you hope that maybe they like you too.
I like you too.
Do you?
Mm-hmm.
That's a good thing. But you have to be engaging. And then after I've done several minutes of that, I try to do the whole process in like less than 5 minutes. But so I've got, probably 3 minutes of just liking and commenting on other people's posts. Then I put up my post, share it to my story, put the link. And then I have figured out, because if you want, hey, Chrissy, if you want to not only grow on Instagram, but you want to grow on Pinterest, Pinterest is a whole nother beast. It's a whole other beast. And I have not been as consistent there. Now, my numbers are way, way up over there for the little that I have done. But I have not been as consistent there. But what I've finally figured out, yes, because processes are so important. What I've figured out is I can use that same content then over onto Pinterest. And while I still have the link, then go ahead and create the Pinterest post and just move it over there. So that then I'm creating that same consistency over there. Pinterest is nice because you can schedule things. So in theory, I could take like an hour and schedule out the entire week. Pinterest is so inconsistent for me. The push the idea pins, which is like reels, like you said, does not convert to followers. No. In order to gain followers on Pinterest, so Chrissy and I, again, things that are on my list of things to do, which Matt can tell you is like, what, 16 miles long at this point?
It's not a list, it's a journal.
Yeah, right? Yeah. I don't even know if it's a journal. It's more like a novel at this point. If you are trying to gain followers, though, on Pinterest, you want to go and find group boards that are similar to the products, the things that you're posting. So you want to go and find a group board. And how the group boards are set up is somebody creates a group board. Everybody then follows the group board creator. And then you follow other people that are on the group board. And then everybody's sharing to these shared boards, which then is putting your content out to all of their followers. So that's the best way to create followers on Pinterest. Pinterest is going to be a very slow growth though. But that being said, the very little that I have done over there, and if you are interested in seeing it, you can just type in Gen X humor over there. That's me on Pinterest also. I am seeing conversions to sales. I'm seeing link clicks. I'm seeing engagement over there. So even if you're not gaining the followers, if you're selling a product and you're using the hashtags, so again, we're back to hashtags, and hashtags are different on Pinterest. You can't use the same hashtags that you'd use on Instagram on Pinterest, because why would anybody let you do that? You have to actually go on Pinterest and start typing in, like if you type in Gen X humor or vintage clothing or whatever, and see those predictive search phrases that people are typing in to find that product, those are your hashtags. So yeah, on Pinterest, it's all about the hashtags. Absolutely. Oh, Liz, you need to clone yourself. Yeah. If I could get a clone, sign me up.
Oh, and side note, we ran out of coffee today. So
oh, we did.
just saying that.
Yeah. Pinterest predictive, yes. And why does Pinterest push idea pins but cannot connect a link like a regular step? Yes. Yes. And the same content that is going to trend on TikTok through what would be an idea pin or a reel or a TikTok is not going to work on Pinterest like it works on TikTok. It's a different audience. Do you think YouTube is better than doing a podcast? You know what? I'm just going to be real with you here.
Oh boy.
This pays us pennies, like legit pennies. Growing a following here is about consistency. Also, lives don't do as well as just preloaded stuff. So we are not, this hasn't even made the novel list. YouTube is rolling out their own podcast platform. Oh, that's cool. So yeah, would a podcast be better? I don't know, maybe, but
yeah, you gotta test it.
You'd have to test it.
Now, one thing about selling on Instagram,
yes,
you gotta have the right following.
Yeah.
You know, if you're got reseller content and then you try and sell something, I don't think you're going to get a lot of conversions unless it's something that someone thinks they can flip it for a price, for a profit.
And that's the problem with reseller reels right now, is they're not just getting shown to like new resellers who might be interested in learning how to resell. They're getting shown to everybody and anybody, and those people just aren't interested in that content. So with the static post, they have to be following the hashtag that you used in order to see it, which then creates a better conversion rate.
Yeah. And so if you're selling, and I was going to say, if you're selling like vintage, I would be posting in the vintage groups and stuff like that. I wouldn't be posting to resellers because they're trying to sell also, but I want to post to my audience, to my market,
Yes. So like with the Gen X humor, when I'm looking for other accounts to engage with, I will go in and type in one of the hashtags that I'm using on my posts. And then what I do is I go and I look for people who have posted something. So here's my big tip for finding followers. Okay. So I go to the hashtag. I look for somebody who has posted something, a static post, not in their stories, but an actual static post that I can engage with within the last 3 to 5 days. So I know that at least they're on, if their last post was 6 months ago, the chances of them coming back and engaging with me is pretty low. So I look for somebody who has posted within the last 3 to 5 days. I look for somebody who is following more people than they have followers. So they are following 1,000 accounts, but they only have 500 followers. So they are going to be more likely then to engage with people. They're not there to just build a following. They are there to engage. If they have a bigger following, because that's not a hard and fast rule, but like, let's say they have 10,000 followers, but they are only following 500 people. That is not an account that's ever going to engage with me.
Yeah, chances are they're not going to follow it. They've already proven they haven't followed anybody back. So
yeah, they're yep. If they have 10,000 followers, but they are following 7,000 people, I know that there's a cap on how many people you can follow. So they might engage with me. Mm-hmm. They're getting close to that cap, but they might engage.
There's a cap that
yes,
you can only follow so many people.
Yeah, I've hit it numerous times, and then I have to go back and unfollow people that have gotten off of Instagram or, just aren't on there anymore, so that I can follow new people that are engaging. So I look for that person who fits that criteria. I go and I comment. I like and I comment on one of their posts. Then I go and I like a few more. Now, assuming that this person is actually somebody that I want to engage with. Like, I'm not doing this if I'm doing Gen X humor, I'm not going to go and do this on a 20-year-old's account because they are not going to want anything to do with Gen X humor. So assuming that they have content that I feel like, hey, this might be somebody that might be interested in our product. They might think the memes are funny. Then I go and I like a couple more, and then I go and follow them in that order. So that when it comes up on their notifications, they see, I saw their content first, I liked it, I commented, and then I liked more of their content before I went and followed them. So I'm not just a bot. I'm not just a bot that's going through and just following accounts randomly. When you're commenting, I try not to just, sometimes I still do the heart. You laugh at me for the heart.
Heart.
I try to actually say something in relation to what they've posted.
Right? Like some of these where you see like the bots, you've had one of them.
The bot yesterday was iconic. Yes. Yesterday, let me explain. Yesterday, if you didn't see on my Instagram account, I posted a picture of our two youngest kids. They're not really kids anymore. They're full-grown adults, but besides
there are kids. So.
There are kids.
There are kids. They're always kids.
So I posted a picture of them, and I just used all of my regular hashtags, whatever. And the Etsy bot came in and said, promote this on Etsy. Promote my children? And we went, well, I did make them. And they are homemade.
You had one last week that was like crypto or something like that. And...
Yeah. As you start engaging more, you will get more bots. I didn't tell you, I got a DM from, I don't know that it's a bot, but it's definitely a copy and paste from a spiritual advisor. Ooh. Who told me my heavenly ancestors were telling her that all of my friends were envious and that they were holding. Yeah, it was weird. It was really weird. I was like, I don't think so. I don't think so.
Your spiritual ancestors.
My heavenly ancestors.
Oh, your heavenly ancestors.
Yes. Yeah. And I get all the crypto ones. Yeah. But
so don't follow those.
No.
Don't try to engage with those. That's
no. But then if I get a new person that follows me, and I haven't already followed them first, because I'm getting a lot of that on the Gen X humor site, just organic people that are just following the account. I always try to follow back unless they have a private Instagram, at which point I feel like you're probably posting pictures of your family and that sort of thing, and you don't want a business following, and that makes sense. So if you have a public account, though, I will go and follow back and try to keep up that engagement. Yeah, the private account is hard. I have a lot of private accounts that follow me, which is great, and I'm super appreciative because those people engage with my content. But not.
Now, if they have a private account and they're engaging with you, would you follow them back?
Maybe, like, depending upon the level of engagement.
Okay.
Because again, I understand, like, if you're posting stuff, like, our kids don't do social media. Like, they're not big on social media at all.
Well, they might. We don't know about it.
No, like, they've all told me, like, no, Mom, I have seen you do social media and I've seen all the trolls and I'm only part of that, which, I mean, valid. But so they all have private accounts. So if a business went and followed them on their private account, even if they liked the business's post, they would unfollow because they are not trying to give out all of their personal information to a business. So generally speaking, a private account, no, I'm not going to go and follow. Just out of respect to that person. But it is creating sales. It is creating conversions.
It's driving traffic.
It's driving traffic, all of those things. And in 2022, when the markets are a little like that face.
I married that face.
You did on purpose.
I did.
Willingly.
I know.
It's so important to be able to drive your own traffic. If you can drive your own traffic, then you don't have to worry about sites algorithms and that sort of thing. And if you can create that audience that is interested in what you're selling, then obviously that is going to do even better. So static post, let's
recap.
Because that was a lot. You know, the Discord group says that I'm like the fire hose and I just whoosh. Yeah, email lists are okay. The conversion rate on email lists is not as good clearly as it was, you know, even 5 years ago, because people just don't open emails. I don't know how many emails I get from businesses every single day. And I just, no. So they're not as good, but email lists, if you are building a brand. So let's say this is a tangent, sorry. If you are building a brand that someday you want to sell, okay?
So you're going to sell the business.
That email list becomes valuable to the prospective buyer. So it's another thing. It's like saying you have an extra bathroom in your house. It's an add-on. House sales was the only thing that came to mind.
Extra bathroom in your house.
I don't know. You know, like it, but it's an add-on.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
It makes your business as a whole more valuable.
It's basically a client list at that point. And then you could say to the prospective buyer of your business, I've got this huge client list. You may not have sold them anything, but you've got this list of clients of previous buyers that could say, hey, these people might come back and buy more. So that's a value.
Yes. And social accounts can disappear or get hacked. Exactly. And so you're able then to say, these are all people that engaged. So there's no, I bought followers, I bought engagement, like you have actual emails. So there is definitely a benefit to that long term. I don't know that it's going to sell as many products today as just engaging on social media will. But there is a benefit to it. So to recap, if you are trying to build a following on Instagram, static posts, share to your story, engage, follow people. Follow people that might be interested in your content, and then go and interact with the people who are already following you. Because if they followed you and then you stopped interacting with them,
they might feel played.
And they're going to unfollow, which, I mean, valid. And that's probably why I lost some followers on Instagram over the last couple of years, because I just wasn't posting, and valid. You know, like I wasn't sharing any content. Why would you? That makes sense. So actually interact with those other accounts that you're already following, and then pay attention to who interacts back.
Well, you could write a book about this.
Say that word. So engage, and then look for those newer accounts that may be interested in your content. They're going to be the easiest followers to get. They're going to be the people that are most likely to engage with you. If you're trying to grow Pinterest, consistency in content, just like on Instagram, consistency in content, hashtags that are specific to Pinterest, group boards, and then again, engage with other people that have similar likes as what you are putting up. So again, if you can find those single Pinterest users, then they're going to be more likely to come and follow you because you're engaging. I'd rather interact with sales transactions than social media. It sounds terrible. There's a big reason why people hire this out. If you are a product page, how long do you interact with accounts that are following you? And I assume their accounts will be personal posts. So as my Gen X humor, which is essentially a product page, I'm going through my feed 3 times a day before I follow anybody new. So those are all people that I'm already following and interacting. And you can tell that I can tell
a lot.
So I'm absolutely still engaging with that. Mm-hmm. Trying to do better on my Amazing Taste store also, because the reseller content has gotten weird lately. Anyhow, I'll leave that comment
alone. Leave that alone.
Would that be weird as a brand to comment on a kid's first day post? If it's a
relatable, say that, yes. So if you were selling, well, I wouldn't say Gen X, but vintage clothing,
and you had kids' clothing
and a kid wore his Halloween costume and had vintage clothing all over it, I would post. I would be like, hey,
we really like that.
This is awesome,
Yes. So a lot of my Gen X humor followers will post like a throwback picture to them as a kid in the 80s, or their Halloween costume as a kid. And so that's easy to interact with. But yeah, people like when you comment on if it's a public page, even if they posted pictures of their flowers this morning, people like when you engage with them. Yeah. People want you to engage with them, even if it's a product page. So I try to stay away from kids just as a general rule. I
try to stay away from kids.
That didn't come out right.
That's probably safe. If you haven't learned anything at all today,
stay away from children.
Stay from kids. Wow, that just got creepy.
Yeah, people's posts of their children as a business or a product page, because that can get creepy fast.
Yeah.
But 100% engage on Pinterest. Also look for those group pages that you can join. If you are further along in your Pinterest journey, start the group page and then invite other people to it. It's actually a group board, but if you can invite other people to it, having one of the criteria, they have to follow you in order to join your group board. It's going to be a great way to get followers. So do that. If you are on TikTok, oh boy, that's where you're posting your videos. Those, my reels got me 0 followers, like legit none. In fact, I think I lost followers but Instagram was paying me, so it's all good. That same content on TikTok got me lots of lots of new followers, lots more engagement. But you have to be consistent there also. I think it's knowing the audience to where you are putting the social media content.
Yeah, that's key.
And the same content idea can translate, but the same content itself is probably not going to translate. You're going to have to tweak it a little bit. Yes, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. But having those processes, like we talked about earlier, having those processes in place so that it doesn't become overwhelming, so you're not spending all day on it. I'm literally doing it 3 times a day.
Now, on those 3 times a day, per each time, how much time do you spend approximately?
10 to 15 minutes.
10 to 15 minutes. Okay, so you're talking 45 minutes
a day,
all day total.
Yeah.
That's not bad.
Yeah. And it is
because you've got an extra 45 minutes every day.
I have so much extra time. Mm-hmm. It's a little bit more if I do my Amazing Taste store also, which is why I haven't been as consistent there, because I'm really focused on building this Gen X humor, because that is a brand that then we can eventually sell. Mm-hmm. That'll be a brand that'll have a trademark against it. have a website against it.
Well, and it's driving traffic.
And it's driving traffic and driving sales.
You're spending 45 minutes a day, but you're getting sales out of it. So
yeah, for sure. And it's interesting then to see which of those links gets more clicks, which ones get more sales. That's then showing me, okay, what do I need
products?
What do I need more of? What do I need? Okay, nobody clicked on this one. Evidently, that is not the way to go.
Yeah, so it's giving you data also, which is invaluable.
Yeah, but I've had some that I've gotten. I had one. So at the time, I only had 250, 300 followers on Instagram, and I had one that got 73 clicks. That tells me that's a huge percentage to followers. So, okay, how can I use that and put it on more products, put it on more sites?
Yeah, how do I leverage that information?
Yeah.
To turn profits, yeah.
Yeah. Social media is important. Like it or not. It is. If you are building a brand, if you are building a business that then you think maybe someday down the road I want to sell.
Well, I think even if you're not thinking about selling, I think if you're just building a business, I think social media is important because that will drive traffic.
But that being said, we do know a lot of people who do very well and they have zero social media presence. You can do it. It's just going to be a lot of work in a different way.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like you got to choose your pain. It's kind of choose the pain and the area you want. What ideas are worth pursuing is good info. Yeah, 100%. That information is invaluable as we build this business up into where we should be putting our time. So figuring all of that out has been fantastic. That was a lot.
That was a lot. You didn't need me for this.
Yeah, I did. So this coming week, we have more social media. Hopefully, learning a lot from you. Thinking, oh, well, good. I'm so glad. Hopefully this week, I'm going to hit the publish button on the book. Hopefully.
Do we have a title yet?
I have a tentative title.
You have a working title.
I have a working title.
You don't have to say it.
Yeah, but I'm not ready to.
Come back next week.
We'll have an actual title.
Don't say that either.
I'm
just saying come back next week.
So hopefully, though, this coming week, that's my goal, will be to publish, and actually get it up and ready to go. So that's coming this week.
Fourth quarter is
upon us. So we've got more sales, more shipping, more sourcing, all of that. And then once I hit publish on the book, I can shift back to, because I'll still have so much time. I'm going to have so much extra time then.
Yeah, all kinds.
Doing more print on demand and more building up of the Etsy shop. Are you doing a Kindle version? That's a really good question. That is a really good question that I don't have an answer to yet.
Come back next week and find out.
I think that when I publish to the paperback, it will give me a Kindle version also, but I am not positive. But I'm pretty sure. So pretty sure, yes, but I'm not making.
But maybe not. We don't know.
I'm not making any promises yet today because I have not hit publish. And up until this point, our KDP has been all low content. So it's been, journals, planners, coloring books, that sort of thing. This is the first time I'm doing an actual book with a whole lot of words. That was a whole lot of words I wrote. More than I said this morning. So I'm not totally sure how that's all going to play out. Can add links in those. Yes, you can add links in your Kindle version to your social media. The way that it formats can get a little iffy. But yes, you can add links to your social media in there. And to be entirely honest, though, I have not decided yet if I want to add my social media accounts to that book yet. Just haven't thought it through yet. So that is all on the agenda for this week. And products and email list. Yeah, you can add that's why this process is taking so long. I thought that the actual writing of the book was going to take forever. It's all of this finishing work that actually is harder.
It's the details.
Yeah, and I don't even know that I would say it's harder, because writing the book was hard.
It's more time consuming.
It's more time consuming. There's a lot of loose ends than at the end here that I need to tie up. So that is all on the agenda for this week. Yeah. We also have another kid's birthday coming up this coming week.
Oh, is it next week already?
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. 7 days. Yeah, 8 days.
So.
Wow.
All right. So join us back here next Friday, 9 a.m. Like, comment, subscribe, watch the ads. I don't know. Have a good week, everybody. Bye.